Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Lost Caverns of Ixalan draft here on the channel. We're going to go pick by pick and play by play and talk through everything so you will know what to do when you draft this format yourself. If you're interested in a more overview style video with top commons, archetype overviews, my draft guide is on the channel already. And yeah, I'm also streaming this live, so if you see me answering questions, that is what I am doing. Okie doke. So, Pack one, pick one. Warden of the Inner Sky. Pretty interesting card. I think it's strong because there are a decent number of cards that make artifacts. If you have some of those lying around, you can just grow this guy. The scrying is nice. It's great on turn one. It's great in the mid game or late game a lot of the time. And I'm really liking. I really had when my opponent played this against me, it was really good. So I think I'm going to take that. Other cards of note. Uchbenbach is pretty good if you can get to the late game in blue-black, but I don't really love starting with a gold card, and I think that strategy is a little bit tough to use sometimes. I think Waterwind Scout is a pretty good common. Iron Paw is just rock solid. Promising Vein is some of the only fixing you get in the set. I am trying to hover over the cards because I know that the cards are new, but there is a lot to talk about. We're going to take the Warden of the Inner Sky. Pairs great in a lot of decks. Even fits well into like artifact-style decks because you can flood the board with tokens and things like that. Okay, so we have Warden. It's not quite in rare status of, oh, I have to absolutely force this card into my deck, but it is quite good. So I do want to play it. And Helping Hand is interesting because I can use Helping Hand to get back a Warden of the Inner Sky if it dies. The thing I don't like about Helping Hand is that in my opening hand, Helping Hand isn't the best a lot of the time because you have to have something in your graveyard, and using it to buy back a 1-drop isn't that inspiring. It's kind of more niche. I think Deadweight is a great option. Just great removal spell, easy to use. Always does what you want to do pretty much. Kill something small, goes to the graveyard for Descend. And then Earthshaker Dreadmaw is also really nice for those like mid-rangey to late game dinosaur decks. One problem I've had with this though is by the time you want to play this, you've often traded off dinos, which makes it a little bit harder. Voltec Cloud Guard goes great with Warden of the Inner Sky. But I think here it's between Deadweight and maybe Earthshaker Dreadmaw, but I think Deadweight is the pretty clear pick out of this pack. I really like it. So that's going to be our selection. So far, so good. One thing about cheap cards in this set is when there are Discover cards, like, for example, Hidden Courtyard, having cheap cards can be a liability because you, like, flip into a 1-drop instead of a 2 or 3-drop, which is a bit worse. Here, the cards that jump to mind, in white, there's Ruin Lurker Bat. Plays well with Deadweight because Deadweight will often trigger the Descend. I'm not sure how much I love this card. I think it's pretty solid and just plays well in a deck that floods the board with cheap things. I also like Volatile Wanderglyph as a 2-drop that, again, plays well with Warden of the Inner Sky because you can tap this thing without it having to attack. And also just a nice aggressive threat. The best white card is probably still Ruin Lurker Bat over the Adaptive Gem Guard. The best black card, probably the Tithing Blade, and then red is probably the best color to branch into outside of that. I think I'm just going to take Volatile Wanderglyph. I kind of like that card. I don't mind branching into 3 different colors with my first 3 picks. Ooh, do I go 4 for 4? I mean, okay, here Clayfired Bricks is immediately a card that jumps out to me as a really good one. I've been very impressed by it. Just make it a land, and then it flips into a really good effect, honestly, even though it does cost 7. However, Tendril of the Myco Tyrant is another one that I really like, and it's just early drop that gives you a win con late. So that's tempting as well. There's also Rumbling Rock Slide as like a removal spell that goes with Volatile Wanderglyph. We're seeing a bunch of green cards, though Ixali's Lorekeeper is pretty niche. Here, I think it's between the Bricks. Bricks also plays well with Warden, because the Bricks can be like one of the artifacts that you tap to Warden. I think I'm going to take the Bricks. I've been pretty happy with Bricks. But we will keep in mind that we saw the Tendril. Okay. Now there is Self-Reflection, which isn't that good. Waterwind Scout plays pretty well with Warden because it's 2 permanents in 1 that can both tap for Warden. I like Oltec Archaeologists a decent amount if you have Tinker's Tote specifically. Sorry, I'll hover the card. And then in red, there is a Idol of the Deep King and a Dynamaton. Idol of the Deep King is pretty solid. We haven't seen any black cards, really. I mean, this card is a black card, but it's not my favorite one. Sorry, trying to hover over it for longer. I think here it's between the Idol and the Oltec. And Waterwind, I guess. I'll take Waterwind. It is the best card, I think. Maybe it'll be open. Oh, you don't expect me to see Millennium Calendar and not take it, right? It's a mythic rare, for goodness sake. What kind of psychopath do you think I am? How many Millennium Calendars am I going to get to build? And I'm getting it pick 6. Nobody else respects the calendar. I mean, I don't either, but I want to play it, so we're going to do it. I mean, what else even is there in this pack? There's like an Uchbenbach. Maybe I'll wheel the other one. There's a Sunbird Standard, which doesn't really fit that well. I mean, I'm not taking this over anything particularly great. I think Brackish Blunder is pretty good, too. We're calendaring. We have a respect for the calendar. This is probably the best card in the pack, but it's the only first green card we'd be taking. I don't like the Guidewing. I think Puzzle Door is okay. It can help me find calendar. I'll just take one Axe Draw. I don't mind being in all 5 colors here, even with a gentle dabble. I've been known to dabble. I'm a dabbler. Okay, so blue's looking relatively open. There's also twists and turns now. Pick 8. Another Brackish Blunder, a Cogwork. There's also Soaring Sandwing. I'll just take twists and turns. I think it's the best card by a pretty decent margin. Just secures the late game. Uchbenbach Wield, not a surprise. We could do some sort of splashing shenanigan, where we just like build like a Sultai graveyard deck. I mean, I could also just take Iron Paw Aspirant. That's another good card. Yeah, I think Iron Paw Aspirant makes sense. I don't think black is open is the main reason why I would go this direction. And then I wheel the Helping Hand. I think blue might be open. Malamet Scythe is also tempting here. But I don't think black is open. Green might be open. But Helping Hand is one I want to try out. We could take Compass Gnome. It does play interestingly with Explore if you can explore in the same turn. I think I'll just pick up a chance to get this card. Relatively low opportunity cost on that one. Now there's another Dino. There's also a Didact Echo, which I don't love. I think the Dino is pretty okay. This can't get artifacts, so we can't find calendar with it. So we second picked a Deadweight. Didn't seem open. We third picked Volatile Wanderglyph. Did not seem particularly open. We have one Waterwind Scout. White has seemed open. We wheeled the Helping Hand and the Iron Paw and the Archaeologist. Now if we mill the Millennium Calendar, we can get it back. So this is perfect. I honestly almost took this card the first time I saw it. I really like the Archaeologist. So white is wide open. We're 100% playing white. And I'm glad that we solidified ourselves and took the clay-fired bricks and all that. Sure, we'll take this over literal nothing, even though I think it's bad. I don't think we're going to play red or black. It's kind of between blue and green. I think green is substantially better. But I guess it somewhat depends on what we get here. Like this pack, there's an Abrade, which is a very good card, but we're just going to take the Petrify. Because Petrify is really nice with our guaranteed white cards. And we have like one blue card that we're happy with, and I don't think this is a particularly good one. And we got a late Twists and Turns and a late Pathfinding Axe Draw, and we like wheeled this card, so I'm pretty happy to get Petrify. I just want to zap someone now. We have a plan. We have a plan, you see, and when the plan is executed, it will work perfectly. So here I think we're just going to play white-green. Typically an aggro deck that cares about like buffing your creatures a little bit. There's like only a couple cards that care about that, though. It's mostly just an aggro deck. We can build it slightly more mid-rangey because we have good late game with this card, and this card gives late game, this card's kind of late game, this card's the ultimate late game. But just going to take Petrify pretty easily here. I don't think we're going to go into blue, but you never know. And this pretty much locks it up. I think Cenote Scout is fantastic. Cenote Scout is excellent. There's also Poison Dart Frog, which is another excellent card. Dart Frog is good. Also plays well with the calendar, but I like Cenote Scout a lot. Also plays well with twists and turns. Yep, pretty happy with the Scout. Some opponent's going to have the fear put in them. The fear. I wish there was a way to untap it in the set. I don't know if there are. I don't think there are. We have a lot of good one-drops. It does make all of our Explore cards worse. And not Explore, Discover cards. Here there's an Akawali, which we can't really use because black wasn't open. And also white is our best color. So Huatli's Final Strike versus Pathfinding Axe Draw. Normally, I would say that green wants to prioritize the Huatli's Final Strike as a removal spell. I might have to do that as well, because I currently only have Petrify as a removal spell. And I have some beefy creatures. I do really like the Pathfinding Axe Draw, but I think it's important to have interaction in pretty much any format. Promising Vein, but this is an easy Huatli's Final Strike. Just a good card. Now I'm going to take the Spring-Loaded Saw Blades. I am probably going to be more of an aggro deck than a defensive deck, but you still want to just have good cards, and this one is quite strong. Do I have any artifacts, though, is the question, I guess. Because otherwise I could take Envoy of Okaneka Hao. I love saying that, Okaneka Hao. Artifacts. Think artifact. I have 2 artifacts, including the calendar, which I don't really want to craft. Don't really want to take Envoy, though. I think this card's just fine, even if I can't craft with it, so I'll just take it. And then I can get some Tinker's Totes and be happy. Okay, nice. Duskgrow's Reliquary. There's also Deconstruction Hammer, Pathfinding Axe Draw, Old Tech. I have been impressed by this card, though. I need some token makers to make it really pop off, but it does play well also with like Spring-Loaded Saw Blades, because I can sack the Saw Blades. And good to have removal. So now I kind of have my removal sorted. Okay, I hate this card, and I love this card, so that's an easy pick. This card is just really tough to use, and the fact that it only crafts with caves is really awkward, and the fact that you have to, like, that it's an artifact so it dies to a braid even when it flips is pretty awkward, and you have to, like, you kind of want to sack the cave and then use this card, and it's just awkward all around. Glorifier of Suffering. I kind of envisioned this as being like a turn 5 play, like you play 2-drop plus this, sacrifice some random artifact, and it's great, and I think that can happen in, like, the white-black deck sometimes, but I'm not super impressed by it a lot of the time. Okay, now we get Axe Draw. This is great. Our curve is really filling out nicely. If our 4-drop spot is Axe Draws, we're going to be in good shape. There's a Spelunking, which I don't think is particularly playable. The Sandwing. We've been seeing a lot of Axe Draws. I think they're great. Now it's between Dawn Runner and Huatli's Final Strike. But now we have enough removal that I don't think we have to take Huatli's Final Strike, because we have this card, this card, this card, and we already have a Huatli's Final Strike. So we have 4 cards that are removal spells, so I think we can just take a great creature. Because we also have all of pack 3. And I do think that the Kinjali's Dawn Runner is fantastic. We get a Capybara. Also, Twitch chat's asking about cards that synergize with the calendar. I'm not really going for synergy with this. I'm just going to play it and hope for the best. It's kind of like a... ooh, I could maybe play Lore Keeper. I have 1 dino, 2, 3 dinos. Could be worth doing. I'm also just playing the Millennium Calendar because it'll be awesome if it works. I have 3 dinosaurs. I don't think that's enough to play the Lore Keeper. But if I was to get, like, Jasath or something, Okay, now this is an easy Promising Vein. Nice if I wanted to fix my mana for something. I think it's better fixing than the Gnome. And I wield the Envoy anyway. Perfect. I picked Spring-Loaded Sawblaze, wield Envoy, wield Oltec. I'm almost mono white here. Like, I've got a deck after 2 packs, which is crazy. But if I open like a crazy red rare, I could probably still take it and switch lanes. Because my green cards are solid, but they're not like absurdly broken. Yeah, nobody's playing white, it feels like. Huh. So, Inti Seneschal of the Sun is pretty good, but red wasn't open at all, pack 1. And I don't really want to just get rid of all my stuff. And I think Tinker's Tote fits in this deck really well. It plays great with Oltec Archaeologist for starters, because I can just buy it back. It plays great with my craft cards, the Spring-Loaded and the Clay-Fired Bricks. It plays great with Warden of the Inner Sky. It plays great with Duskgrove's Reliquary. Honestly, Tinker's Tote just plays well with everything, which is why it's my currently favorite white common. Poison Dart Frog would probably be my second pick. I do think green has enough that it's worth playing over red for just the 1 card. This is an easy tote. Yes, I feel like a genius. I feel like a genius. I literally said I have the Lore Keeper if I do want to splash red. It helps me ramp. I also have this Promising Vein, so I can get away with like playing 1 mountain in this deck. Oh my gosh, this deck just got so awesome. This deck just got so awesome. Oh, yes. Yes! And we have enough dinos to potentially flip some. Oh, baby. We've got the Jasath Millennium Calendar combo. There's also a Thrashing Grontodon, but we've got the Jasath Millennium Calendar. Yes, we could even wield this Cavern Stomper. Oh my gosh. Okie doke. So now there's a twist and turns, but I think here it's just easy, another tote. For all the reasons we wanted tote before, we wanted tote even more now because tote stalls the game and still has all those synergies. And 2 totes, 2 archaeologists is just so good for buying time. The Belligerent Earling is like, oh, you're playing red now anyway, but we're just playing it for Jasath. And we're going to have, I think, 1 mountain, 1 Promising Vein, and then the Lore Keeper to sometimes get red. Like, we're not going to play a lot of red sources in this deck. So it's going to be potentially dicey. My gosh, this card is absolutely stellar, but we're going to stay disciplined there. I do like Kawati's Scavenger. I also like Attentive Sunscribe. Scavenger's probably better. My deck is getting more mid-rangey by the second. I can cut Thousand Moons Infantry. I can cut this. The other option is this guy. What did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drops. I think I'll just take the Sunscribe, get myself another 2-drop. That's really my weakness area. I have plenty of 3-drops. Now I get a Soaring Sandwing. Sure, out of an empty pack. This card's insane, but we're just going to take an easy Axe Jaw. Just does everything we want. Helps us hit our lands, helps us find our cool cards. And now we get another 2-drop. Perfect. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sounds this thing makes. I don't know if we need to play the Envoy of Okanekahau. Oh my gosh, this pack is crazy. There's a Mischievous Pup, which can pick up a Tinker's Tote, or a Sawblades, or a Bricks, so probably going to be the pick here. There's also a Tendril of the Myco Tyrant, which I do like, but I think is worse than the Pup. The Pup just has a lot of great synergies. You can also like pick up a Cenote Scout, a Duskgrove's Reliquary if we really need to. We have a really good Helping Hand deck too, because we have so many good 3-drop creatures. We wield Poison Dart Frog? What is the world coming to? What? I almost took this out of the pack. Now we have Ixali's Lore Keeper, Poison Dart Frog, Promising Vein, Mountain. So we have kind of, I like to count each of the creatures as like half a source because they're really vulnerable, obviously. But yeah, that's like 4 sources almost. And we wield the Huatli's Final Strike. What? Can I even play it? Do I even have room? I might just want this guy. Okay, I do want the Huatli's Final Strike. I think it's good. These are Twist and Turns over Iron Paw Aspirant. Iron Paw's great, though. I almost took the Sandwing, but I already have one. I think 2 is a bit much. Twist and Turns is kind of ramp of a sort. This deck is awesome. Let's just get that out of the way right here. Right there and then. We'll just say it. So we have 32 playables here. We have to cut a bunch. Oh, man. We have to cut a bunch of cards. This could be a challenging build process. But in the best possible way. Oh yes, in the best possible way. I think we're just going to try to make a quick version of the deck and then play a game and see how it feels. Because, okay, so this is going to be cutting 1 mountain so that I can play an extra forest. Maybe an extra plains. What's my color distribution? It's definitely heavier on white. But a lot of my ramping is... Yeah, okay, so we're just going to play the extra plains for now. Probably don't need the Sun Scribes. I don't need the Envoy. Oh, right, I have that for an extra plane, so I can just play an extra forest, because this essentially gives me an 8th plains. I like Lore Keeper because I have the Jasath, and the 3 of these guys, and these 2 top-end guys. Helping Hand, probably unnecessary. I've got plenty of value without it. Iron Paw, probably unnecessary. Oh, KP Bar is definitely unnecessary. Iron Paw gives me like a third 2-drop, and I already have a bunch of 1-drops, so I kind of like it. But it's not really on theme. Oltec only plays well with Tinker's Tote. And I guess maybe with bricks or something, I think I can cut it. And what's my removal situation? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 removal spells, 5 removal spells, which this card is playable with my 2 Tinker's Totes, I think. I like having, I think, a couple of big guys at the top end. What's my colors looking like now? Just really dead even. I think I can cut a plains. Because I do have all these explore guys to help me find lands, and this is like a land. So it's almost like I have 7 plains in this deck. Plus this can function as it if I really need to. 9, 10, 16 lands. I really like the pup here. Oh, and also Clayfired Bricks is like a land if I already have a plains. How many creatures do I have? 14. I think I'll cut Oltec. And we will run it like this. Should be awesome. So I basically have 7 planes because of this thing, which I am going to keep in mind. And I have this. Okay, this deck's awesome. Obviously making Jasath the poster child. We can always make tweaks later, but I'll see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my content at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. If you have been enjoying my videos, if they've been helping you find more success in your draft and have more fun playing Magic, and you would like to show your support, then you can do so via Patreon. It is essentially a way to tip my channel, but it also comes with some cool rewards like access to my card-by-card tier list for Lost Caverns of Ixalan and other cool things like that. I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support at the credits level. And if you're interested in learning more, you can of course find that at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. Without further ado, though, let's get to the games. Welcome to round one. This is an easy keep, I think. We don't have green yet, but we have this to play on turn 2, this to play on turn 3. Plenty of time to dig for green. This will even help us dig for green as well. Or if we have that, we obviously already have green. Okie doke. That makes our Duskrose Reliquary active. Oh yeah, I tried a new graphic setting. The motion blur is definitely not going to help my graphics. Okay. It also looked weird to me. Hotfoot Gnome, sure. That card does not match up well against Tote for them. So here, if I really want to hit a land, I can play this card, try to draw a land. So if the second card from my top is a land, I think actually playing the Dawn Runner as late as possible might help me more. Because I'll draw it anyway if it's the land, if the second from the top is a land. But if it's the third from my top, then I get closer. I don't know. If the top card's a land, I'll already be happy. If it's, and I can't even play it, but this way I get to maybe go one extra card deeper. I don't think it matters when I play it. I will definitely double block. Beautiful. Okay. So I could just play Axe Draw. I could also play this and then twists and turns on it to just keep digging for lands. And this lines up really well against this, and this doesn't really. If this is a 4-3, then I can't block it. And I just need to survive here. Okay, we hit a land. I already have red, so I don't need this card. Beautiful. I'm not even trying to get a counter on this. I just wanted to draw more lands. Wow, they're trying to draw a land themselves. And they hit. Nice. Well done, well done. So in 2 turns, I want to be able to play this. That might not be possible, though. So I think I can sack the Tinker's Toad to gain 3 life here. Next turn, I'll have the mana to go this card. Bite one of the Waterwind Scouts, exile one of the Waterwind Scouts. Okay. Little do they know they're helping me out here. So the question is, do I want to Dusk Rose this guy? I don't think so. Like, I can afford to take 2 damage, I think. And this thing, I can't activate it, but I can activate this, which will let me get another forest to play the Cavern Stomper. Or if I draw a land, I can just flip this, which is also great. Okay. Oh, baby, that's a good draw. So I can play this, bounce this, play this. I have 3, 6 mana, so I can bounce this, play this, play land, activate that. I don't think I want to activate that quite yet. I think I want to play Poison Dart Frog, probably. No, this thing will also flip. So I'll have 1 extra mana. So I can play Poison Dart Frog, or I can play, ooh, I can play this. I only have 1 planes left. So that flips. And this can block the Hotfoot Gnome. So I can now block both of their gnomes. And then if they play this guy, I can kill it. Make sure you tap your lands before your turn happens. Hmm. They have 2 cards in hand. How do I lose this game? Basically by them tempoing me out. If I had drawn a land there, it would have been best. No, I actually do. I have it. Okay, I have 8 mana, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. I know that this thing is a flyer, which is kind of worrisome, but I've got the ground covered, and this is hitting me for 2 a turn. They're keeping that on top? Well, that's worrying. $23. Oh, that's a beautiful draw. What a draw, what a draw, what a draw. So if this hits a land, then I can play Tote and gain the life. Boom. And double. Why didn't it leave me with white mana? Oh my gosh, it left me with... If I lose this turn to them like doing some crazy like string of combat tricks here, I'm going to be beyond enraged. Get rid of a call. Okay. $58 counters. So I can just gain a life. 6. They block 2, they take lethal. So I don't have lethal. If I lose this game somehow, I'm going to be very frustrated. There's not a way to steal creatures in this set. Woo! Got the win. Our Millennium Calendar was at over 100 counters there. We were only a few turns away from winning with 1,000 damage. I know I'm handicapping myself by playing the Millennium Calendar, don't get me wrong. But we're getting close. Oh, baby. A calendar with 58 counters. That's the dream. That is the dream! We also have the Jasath Dream. Instant Q. We have found a foe. Oh! This is a keeper. We just need the Dart Frog. In Dart Frog we trust. I just need to draw spells. Hopefully, honestly, the best spells to draw would be a dinosaur, the 4/3 right here. That's a decent draw. I'm gonna exile the pickaxe. Makes their Tomb Raider worse. Looks like they might be missing a color. Makes this card a lot worse. Well, that's another great draw. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7. I need one more land and I'll be in good shape. Sure. I think I have to do this. Sorry, calendar. I'm in an aggro matchup. I hope you understand. I think this game's probably lost. I kind of need this as like a late game top deck. This thing does help me cast it sooner though. Because when I play my 7th land, I can flip it. I think getting rid of the pickaxe was actually decent. What a rip. Just what I needed. So now this Poison Dart Frog can trade off because I'll have red mana. Oh, baby, we're in good shape. I think we're going to win. They can ping me a little bit, but... they can do 4 to me a turn. There's no universe. I don't want to sack this for 3 life. I really was hoping to draw a spell there. They're just playing mono red. Gosh, that's another damage a turn. They have 3 of these malicious. The fact that they got a creature that also made a treasure so they didn't have to tap it. Tilting. Oh, this could actually work out because I can explore with just that. So they have 7 power. And 7 toughness. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that the Plundering Pirate did that to me. Wrecked. It's so tough. I was 1 mana off of casting this. No! Stop throwing burn! You mad lad! You maniac! He's a maniac, maniac, oh, oh. You pay me once, twice, thrice, and then sack it for to deal 2 more. Are they sacking it? Every ping matters. Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm starting to think we're going to win this game. I have 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need to be able to play this, this, and this. I don't think I need to be able to hold this up yet, though. So I can attack. Play pup. I guess I can't. I don't have enough white mana to do this anyway. Don't really need that. This is a crazy close game. I'm hanging on by a thread. I can attack for 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Three. So if I activate this, it's 5 mana. 3, 4, 5. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can spend 5 mana and do this. Why would it try to tap double white? Why would you do me like that, game? Dang it, I was hoping that I would draw one of those other cards, I guess. Why would it try to tap me like that? Have I used all of my life gain? Yes, yes I have. 1 Tinker's Tote, 2 Tinker's Totes, 1 Clay-Fired Bricks, 1 Soaring Sandwing. What? No! Are you kidding? Oh, tap treasures. That is a cool combo. That was one of the cool things I thought about Hit the Mother Load is the combo with the Sunshots. So they have 4 blockers. I have 4 ground creatures. I'm definitely dead. It's just sad. I was so close to making the comeback. If I'd been able to squeeze in one more attack with my flyer, maybe. Gosh darn it. They have 3, 4. Literal exactsies. No, they can ping for 5, but then they have the torch that can sack itself to kill me. That was an insane game. If they'd hit a 5 drop off of this, maybe. Wow. If they hadn't drawn hit the mother load, which was essentially a delayed burn spell, I would have been able to get that one. Wow. That was an insane game. I was hemming, I was hawing. If I had known I was going to face that matchup, I would have kept in some of those, the 5-mana 4/4 that can get back an artifact. Because then I legitimately would have been able, like, unkillable. Because I could keep looping my Tinker's Totes with those. So I would have gained even more life. Wow. That was an insane game. Also, if I had an opportunity to get Millennium Calendar in there at some point. I can't believe that. I gained 3, 6, 9. I gained 14 life that game, and they still barely burned me out. Crazy. I'm going to plane cycle this card. That was an insane game. Mono red. Also, they barely had enough power to get my Desath off the board that one turn. Okay. I think I just maybe stay patient, get a mountain with this. Especially now that my pup doesn't even line up well. That's a good draw. Yep. Definitely not petrifying a 1/1. But my 1/2 holds the fort, which is all that I care about right now. Okay, my 1/1 no longer holds the fort. If only I had Mischievous pop up. Okay, they just gain it on my turn. I'm going to play Dart Frog and then try to cast Cavern Stomper next turn. And I'll hold up Pup to protect the frog. Okay. Both of those are good. So I can guarantee a counter on my frog. No, on my pup. but can block the 1/1s. And now I will have 3 removal spells. My Twist and Turns isn't going to flip for a second, but that's okay. Yep. Artifact or creature, sure. I could have just used this Final Strike. They know I have it and stuff. Yep, definitely gonna kill that. Oh, I messed that up. I should have targeted this guy. No punish, but... Let's get my scrying on. What I want to do is just get my Twist and Turns going. And I can activate it thanks to the frog. I have an endless stream of value here. Sure. I want to draw the Huatley Strike, so I'm not going to use my land for a turn. Okay. I am kind of afraid of them having the 1/3. I'm going to do this on end step, because I think I'm getting close to Jasath in my deck. And I want to hold this up. I also don't want them to be able to prepare for Jasath if they make an attack. So that can make it a 4/3, but if they can already make it a bigger guy with their... Oh, that's a problem. Good thing I have this. This game is crazy. These late games have been insane. Running out of dinosaurs for Jasath to even hit. Wow. Good thing I have the ultimate late game. Another case of I should have used this first, I think. Because now I'm going to use it and not hit my clay-fired bricks. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Three, 4, 5, 6. They're one off of using it now. I could lose this. Their deck has a crazy late game too. This is the game where I really actually need Millennium Calendar. Now that they have this card, do I need one of my own to compete? I don't think so, because this guy can hold the fort. Max punished. Beautiful. Man, this is crazy. I thought I was in really good shape here because I have this like kind of inevitability thing going. But they are just decimating me with this late game. My gosh, I'm so toast. I might just be dead. Wow, what a game. I don't even think Jasath does it for me because I've drawn all of my other dinos. Wow. Gosh darn it. I didn't think I could lose this one once we got to the mid game and I had this card going. They have just been cruising through my life total here. Wow. I guess my late game is kind of more of a joke than anything, but like honestly, I kind of wish I had my Millennium Calendar. Tinker's Toad is all right. And I did just put my Millennium Calendar back on the bottom. I might have needed to keep my own clay-fired bricks to have a good shot here. But I'm running out of creatures. I might have had to keep my bricks on top. The turn where I didn't keep the bricks on top and then I whiffed on creatures was really bad. I think I have to activate this thing again just so I can get the Millennium Calendar closer to the top. What is this game turning into? What a crazy game. I don't have any flyers left. It's literally Millennium Calendar time. I found the Millennium Calendar in the same activation I hit Jasath, I think. I wish this was letting me stack my deck, or at least see what I had. But I'm not really keeping track of it very well. I know I have a Saw Blades in here somewhere. And that's like unblockable? No, it can be activated with artifacts. Okay. Okay, so Clay-Fired Bricks, Twists and Turns, Hidden Courtyard, Forest. Clay-Fired Bricks, Twists and Turns, Forest are my bottom four. The next four are the one that has my good guy in it. So the bottom four I know. The middle three I think is where my thing lies. So I'm going to spin this on upkeep next turn. Because that gives me the best odds. So another bottom four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as long as the Millennium Calendar isn't the... I have decent odds if I just then start drawing. Oh, they had to craft for their equipment. That's interesting. So upkeeping this because I really don't want to hit the calendar. Perfect. So that means that the calendar is one of my next 3 draws. Perfect. What do you think of that, opponent? What do you think of that? Who's got late game now, buddy pal? Oh my gosh, this game is intense. This game is so intense. I've been playing some insane games. This is the 3rd game. Okay, of course they drew an artifact. Or maybe they were saving it. I don't even know. Either way, not the best for me. So the bottom 3, one of these is the Tinker's Tote. And the other 3 are lands. Then this middle 3, then this middle 4 actually. So I have 9 cards left. This middle 4, one of these is my own copy of this card, which I might need to survive. Perfect. Tap 2 other untapped creatures. So it's got 13 counters. This game is insane! What the heck is happening? So I can deal 5 to a tapped creature they control. No! They can take out my guy! No! That's so sad! Why? Oh! Pain. That's just a travesty. Let's be honest. Nobody was hoping for this outcome. Wow. I was just getting something going here. I was starting to cook. Oh my gosh. Can I survive? I take 5. 16. Yeah, I'm blocking as much damage as possible, pretty much. Gosh, if they didn't have the scribe, I think I could have gotten this game. I can't believe I lost this game. This is so sad. Oh, they had to draw the Tinker's Tote, too, which... Oh my gosh. How many turns was I away from winning with this? So let's see. I got to 26 counters here. Then I untap my whole... Let's just say I had my frog still. I untap all my guys. I have 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more counters go onto it. So it goes up to 38, 39, because this thing would also have been tapped. So I go up to... So I have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I go up to 39 counters on it. I then double that. It goes up to 78. Untap. Like 150, 300. I was still a few turns away. Oh my gosh. That was so brutal. I can't believe this deck is 1 and 2. The deck feels honestly like I thought this deck was really, really good. Jasath has been a joke because I always draw it when it's already gummed up the board. I guess I needed to keep that clay-fired bricks on top. That would have given me a chance because I would have had 2 more blockers, but I still think I die. My gosh. What an insane situation. We're doing it. We're just getting down on turn 1. And RIP to the consequences. I don't know if they can race it. Yeah, I'll keep that. I can sack the Cenote Scout to kill something problematic. The axe draw answers this thing by itself. No need to worry. Looking for a land. Boom. Hit it. We're getting there with the calendar. Once we jam this Sunwing, we'll be in great shape. So I'm going to take 5 this turn. Yeah, I'll keep it on top. Because if I draw a land here, I'm in good shape. It's so hard to win with the calendar. Jeez Louise. Yes, their attacks are slowing down. This is huge for me. If I can just get the Sandwing deployed. I could have attacked with the Dawn Runner. I could have honestly attacked with both, probably. It's almost lethal. Two, 3, 4, 5. What the heck was that block? They have some sort of board wipe? I know doubling this is very tempting. Gosh darn it, they did have a board wipe. So the reason I'm trading is because it just maybe buys me extra time against their Glyph Bridge flipping. Mountain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can get the calendar up to 92. The real question is if I get a mountain here. No! Never lucky. I'm so sad. And now they're going to flip their glyph bridge. Oh my gosh. This was my chance. Yes! It's lethal. They have to block. Come on, Jasath. Flip me something good. Come on. Come on, Jasath. You can do it. Come on. Yes! Yes! And it's a 5-4. Oh my gosh. We did it. 5. Yes! 2 lethal threats. Oh my gosh. They get to make another 4-4. The game's not over. Not over till the fat lady sings. Oh my gosh. They get to make another 4-4. Oh. Why? That's so sad. They have artifact destruction. Oh, that's so painful. And they get to flip their guy. Oh man. Oh, that's so sad. And this thing makes it so I can't play spells properly. Oh, I would be able to win! I would have been able to win if this thing let me cast spells. So I can't cast spells if I attack. Can I force them to trade that off? I cannot. Jasath makes me cast the spell. I can get up to... so that I'm not dead. Because this will be 9 damage, and I can gain 6. Oh my gosh. If I attack with Jasath, they just block. Okay. No, I mistapped! Oh my gosh. I even manually mistapped. That was all me. Gosh darn it. I could have lived. And then I could have won, potentially. If the top card of my deck was, Huatli's Strike, I would have been able to win. Gosh darn it! No! I mistapped my mana! Oh, man. Because I have these 4 1/1s. They can kill all the 1/1s. So they can just pay mana to kill all my 1/1s. But it would also kill their own guy. I was so close. If they hadn't had the Dauntless Dismantler, I would have been able to attack them, because then they wouldn't have had the ability to just block and live. Because if I attack with both these guys, they can just go like chump block, take 3, block for 4, live. Whereas otherwise they would have had to do that. Oh my gosh, I actually had a legitimate chance to win this game. Because I mean, obviously it's dependent on what I draw and what's in their hand. But because if they have a single pump spell, I'm dead. Oh, also all my artifacts come into play tapped. Oh. So if I had drawn, if they have an interaction spell, a pump spell, a tap spell, or even I think another artifact spell to make it so they can cast, like, get this thing going, because then they can just kill all my guys, make another 4, play another artifact, make another 4/4. Still have the blockers situation. Because basically, I could have lived at 1, because they attack me with both these guys. My turn comes around. I still can't attack them. I have to attack I have to find a removal spell, like a Huatley's. Do I have any Huatley's left? I have 1 Huatley's Final Strike left. I've already used my Reliquary. But if I find my Huatley's or my Chainsaw card, not my Chainsaw, the Buzzsaws, either one of those. If I draw one of my 2 cards that can kill the 5/3, then I can then kill the 5/3 attack. So, gosh, I just wish I had gotten that extra draw step instead of just tapping like that. I knew that I had to manually tap to make sure it didn't screw me by doing that, but I forgot that I had, because I had exactly enough white mana. I forgot about the colored requirement on the activation. Well, that was almost the perfect game. If I had drawn the land to play the Jasath a turn earlier, I think I would have won. Like, instead of, like, having that turn where I did nothing, pretty much. Wow. I had 3 losses there, and all of them were insane. I had that crazy late game against Mono Red. I had that crazy late game where I almost got the calendar win. And I had that game just there where I was like 100 plus counters on the calendar, and my Jasath almost won me the game. Holy heck, that was crazy. What the heck was that? Well, if you did make it all the way to the end, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag fun, because these were really fun mythics to try and build around. I mean, we got to get a Jasath hit. We got to get calendar kind of close to be where the point where it was scary. And overall, I did my best. I did mess up the tote. I didn't play that last moment perfectly, which it irks me. And honestly, it irks me more than it irks you. Like, if you're in the comment section typing away like, oh, you screwed that up, it will haunt me. Like, this is the sort of thing that, like, 2 days from now, I'll be like, man, why didn't I tap my mana properly to play the tote? But that's how it goes sometimes when you're not 100% focused on the game. Anyway, if you did enjoy this, let me know in the comments. I'm not doing a lot of winning this format, but still a lot of fun. We didn't get to do the Warden of the Inner Sky ever, but such is life. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want to support my content, you can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.